What it do to all my motherfucking free game people out there, man? Feel me? To all of my FNB people, don't mind the hoodie. I ain't doing no crime. It's just cold in this bitch, so I gotta want to keep myself warm. But today I want to talk to y'all about something I was looking at, and I've been thinking about for a while. I'm sure I mentioned it at some point on this channel, but I want to do a more in-depth conversation about it because I was thinking about this shit. So the thing I was thinking about was this idea that was presented. I don't know if this was the Egyptians that presented this, but when you balancing your heart against you put your heart on the scales against a feather. You know what I'm saying? If your heart is lighter than the feather, then you pass on to the next life, which is the best part. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put a little picture in this bitch so then y'all can kind of get a gist of what I'm talking about. So when I look at that picture, what it shows me is that the way that they get into their the best afterlife is if your heart is light, meaning that you did not hold on to anything from this world. You're not attached to any ideas or anything to this world. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the thoughts that came to my mind when it come to being, lighthearted per se, you know what I'm saying, your heart being light as a feather, is the people who are lighthearted, the first people who are very lighthearted are children. You know what I'm saying? And that lightheartedness is from a not being attached to anything, not being attached to any worldly ideas, not being attached to any worldly beliefs. I believe that the way that you balance the scales and become lighthearted is to not attach yourself to any identity that you have been attaching yourself to. We all find ourselves being attached to certain identities, certain ideas, certain perspectives, certain all type of things that is worldly. You may be attached to this identity of being a motherfucking, for example, it's a great way to explain this because I just came from college. I can explain this. Excuse me. Being attached to when you join a sorority or you join a fraternity, one of the two, whatever the case. Those letters, you now attach to that, and that becomes a part of your identity. So you defend everything that goes with that. See what I'm saying? That is now holding you. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's attached to that is now holding you as a part of you, and you identify with this is who I am. So any beliefs that is attached to that thing is also attached to you. So anybody that challenges these beliefs or ideas or this identity that you hold true, you feel some type of way, and it affects you, and it affects your ego. So now you feel the need to have to defend it, have to argue to prove that whatever you identifying with is right. And this right here presents a whole lot of fucking problems because now you are arguing a point of something that may not really truly matter, and it isn't important, that you can't take with you when you die. You go on to the next life. This identifying with things like that, with worldly things, these things that you cannot take with you, identifying with these things that don't go on to the next life will eventually cause heavy-heartedness. You are attached to so many things. You are attached to so many beliefs. You are attached to so many ideas, so many things that you have grabbed and brought onto your identity that now anything that opposes that, you don't hear, and you are closed off too. The goal is to be lighthearted. The goal is to not attach yourself to anything and to be open to all things. What this does is it would allow you to learn way more because you are more open to plenty perspectives. It's not something, you're not just attached to this identity of, oh, I'm this, or oh, I'm that. You can be anything. You are attached to the identity of being. Or not even attached to the identity of being. There is no identity. You are just being. So you are okay with hearing, understanding, listening to, taking advice from any perspective. It allows you to learn a hell of a lot easier, and it also gives you the opportunity to experience more things because you are not trapped by beliefs, so you can attract more shit. See what I'm saying? You're not trapped by the beliefs of an identity that you choose to hold on to. It also make you kinder. It make you way kinder because of the fact that you are the understanding that everything can be true. Two things can be true at once. You know what I'm saying? When you find yourself, I need to put some lotion on my face dry as a bitch. But when you are not attached to anything necessarily worldly, and you are more so focused on the spirit, and you more so focused on, those things like that, what you do is you find yourself being okay with more things, and also willing to listen to more perspectives, because you understand that your way is not the only way. There's plenty of ways out here to get to it, my nigga. I learned that there's plenty of ways to get to the same answer by doing fucking math. You feel me? The teacher tried to teach, you know what I'm saying? And this is another reason why I didn't fuck with school. Because a teacher, I get to the same answer as all the other kids. I just did it my own way. But the teacher said, no, this is the way you got to do it. And that's how a lot of people live their life. They live their life seeing that this is the way that they got it, or this is the way that they seen it be done, or this is the way that they understand that it can work. And they identify with that, and they attach themselves to whatever that belief or that identity is, and they preach it to everybody else. And anybody who don't agree, or who don't identify, or who don't connect with that identity as well, they feel that they have to attack them. And this is how this is where it comes into, like, this is how, the Matrix gets all of us, I guess you can say. You feel me? Is because of the fact that, my nigga, if I can get you to believe something, and then you can attach to these beliefs, you will attack anybody that isn't attached to these beliefs as well. You aren't open. Your heart isn't light enough. You cannot. You are not like water, my nigga. You feel me? I think Bruce Lee said this shit. You gotta be like water, because you are attached to all these identities, all these beliefs that could be true, and also could not be true, or the fact they could be true, but there's another way to get to the same thing, my nigga. There's just another way to get to the exact same idea that you're thinking of. Some people may be attached to the belief that you have to pay all your woman bills to get to have a happy marriage. Some people are attached to the belief that you guys have to do everything and split it down the middle in order to have a happy marriage. Both things can be true depending on the person, but if you sitting on one side or the other, and you are attached to the identity or the belief, whichever belief it is, you are going to argue into the death of you that this is the truth. And there is so many fucking truths out there. The most important thing is living yours. What helps me be me is because of the fact that I am okay with who I am, and I take the steps what works for me, and I don't judge nobody else things that work for them, because that worked for them. I done seen a nigga do some shit, and I be like, God damn it. And I try it, and it don't work. You know what I'm saying? I learned this from talking to girls. You know what I'm saying? I learned this from seeing my friends talk to girls and then trying that same shit. This nigga saying some crazy shit. I hear him say it. I say, damn, that might work. I tried it. It don't work for me. You feel me? Same thing as if I see a nigga out here scamming. A nigga can go out here scam for 50 bands. I go out here scam and I go to jail. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not attached to the belief that I am the only one that is right. So I'm not attached to anything. My heart is light. I am okay with all perspectives. I hear everything. I listen to it all, and I take what works for me. When you start to identify with that and you live in that conscious mindset that there isn't necessarily no truths unless it works for you or whatever you deem to be true, then it just kind of changes the way you perceive things, and it makes you less judgmental. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm a hell of a lot judgmental, because I know that shit just may work for you. Maybe that feels right for you. Maybe that is something that do you justice. Now for me, I ain't fucking with that. That's just me. And just as much as it's some shit that I may do that you may not fuck with, and I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you that you should fuck with it, because I don't give a fuck. Me personally, I don't care. I could be doing some shit and I can be telling you like, y'all, this work. Y'all, if you do this, you're gonna get $50,000. And you can tell me, now that ain't gonna work, and I won't care. I got my 50,000, my nigga. I don't know about you. You see what I'm saying? So the best way to be lighthearted is to detach from ideas, from beliefs, and for anything, and from identities, and from, you know what I'm saying, let go of all that shit, because it's not really real. We all playing a role. And it's okay to play a role. You know, the ego, it's okay to have an ego. It's okay to use your ego, and it's okay to understand that you have that. I'm not saying I've learned to not tell anybody to not have an ego, but it's also important to not attach to that ego. You know what I'm saying? I'm not attached to my ego, but I understand I have one and I use it because I know that in the world that we live in, we all wear masks. But it's a difference when you know you're wearing a mask and when you don't. See what I'm saying? Recognize your mask. And that's where the meditation comes from. What helped me and why I'm able to be this way now is because I'm able to recognize my mask. I can see it. So I don't attach to it. I treat it as a mask. I don't treat it as me. It is not me. See what I'm saying? So I love y'all, free game people. I hope that makes sense, man. If it don't, leave it in the comments. And I'll make another video. And, you know, if that still don't make sense, then you fucked up. You ain't gonna get it. I'm sorry. Can't do nothing for you. Meditate, y'all. Take care of yourselves, man. I love y'all. I'm out of here.